Welcome to the Smart LED FX software training video. This is part 4 where we will dive into scheduling and cover some final points so that you can be well versed in the FX software and know how to use it perfectly. So let's go ahead and take a look at the files that we have here running right now. We can take a preview, see that we have a double video file. We have a single video file. Um, we have some images, photos, and we have some text windows. So now we're going to talk about scheduling, and scheduling is very easy in the FX software. We've tried to make it as simple as possible, kind of being like the Google of LED science. So let's go ahead and talk about scheduling. As you can see here, when you click text window, usually it, all these steps are always going to say wait to end. There's some things that you can do here. If you take off the wait to end, then you can set how many seconds you want that message to show. So this is more advanced because if you set it to 600 seconds, obviously it's going to be showing that message for 10 minutes. But this is an advanced an advanced function that you can use when you are timing spots for a client and or for yourself, and you just want that spot to be there 30 seconds and then go on to the next one. Typically you're going to keep the wait to end so it goes through the whole message or through the whole video that you have rolling. But again, about scheduling, it's all in this little green clock. So when you click the green clock, you bring up the step schedule window where you can have a unlimited number of schedules for that step. And basically it works like this. You'll click add, and then you can set your time. So let's say, if you set ignore time, it'll run 24 hours a day. And then here we can set the dates from today to, let's say, next month, February 19th, for example. And then you can ignore the days or set the days. So basically the way the scheduling system works is like this. If it ignores it, it means it's not going to pay attention. If it's set, then it's going to pay attention to it. So if we set the date from January 8th to February 19th, and if we set the dates to be every, for example, Saturday and Sunday, and we click OK, then we get a more detailed window here saying that this first step is going to show this 24 hours a day because there's no time, and that's why it ignores the beginning and the end time, and valid from January 8th to February 19th, and valid on Saturday and Sunday only. So that could be one schedule. So we'll click OK, and as soon as we click OK, we can see the little green clock, which shows us that this step, the text window, which is the welcome message, is basically going to show only on those days. It's going to show on Saturdays and Sundays based on the schedule we just set up. So when you go ahead and you preview this, you will always see this in the preview, no matter what time. But if we go ahead and change it, let's go ahead and double click on it. And let's set the start date for the 10th. It's a couple of days ahead. Then you're gonna see everything is gonna show no matter what dates. So you have to keep in mind what your schedule is for each step, because when you preview the messages, it's not gonna be taking the schedule into account. It's gonna show you everything that's gonna get loaded on the sign. But as far as the clock is concerned, the actual sign will only show this message from these valid dates. So from the 10th to the next month to the 19th, and it's going to be on every Saturday and Sunday. Now, if you wanted to edit the schedule, you can double click on it or click edit, and then we can ignore the days and we can ignore the times and just show that message from this day to this day. Click OK. Shows us the valid date. You can export that if you have a very complicated schedule. You can import it or you can export it, and we'll call this schedule text message schedule. We'll save it, and if you want to import it, the same thing. You can just import that schedule, click OK, and that way you can import the same schedule for all your steps. Another thing about video steps is when you click the green button, and let's say we add a schedule. Let's go ahead and set the time this time. Let's make this one to go from, keep in mind this is military time, so it would be 7 a.m. and let's say we wanted to end at 10 p.m. That would be 2200 hours because it's set up on military time. 7 to 22, no matter what dates, and from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. let's do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but not weekends. Click OK, and there is the schedule set up right there. The valid dates: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So click OK, and there you have it again. This little green button showing us that that step is on the schedule also. So this is the way that the scheduler works. Once again, you have to keep in mind that when you preview, it's always going to show you everything. So like if we click here and we click preview just that step, it's going to show it to you. So all the actual scheduling will be on board on the sign. So right now, if we send this program to the sign with the schedule, you can see it quickly adds the schedule because there's no changes in the files or the videos. But we can be sure that this, based on this schedule, it won't be showing this message up until when the date rolls around to the 10th, and that's when it will start showing this message. And that's how scheduling works in a nutshell. Another thing that we need to cover is the scheduling on the control side. So for example, as we had talked earlier when we began, the schedule table setup, it talks about well, this whole schedule is all about your sign. So it controls the time the sign turns on automatically or turns off automatically. It controls the brightness at a certain time, so you can adjust the brightness throughout the day. And it controls some other more advanced functions. When you read the schedule, if you click read, and you get a message here on the info center, on the SmartLED software info center, if you get the message read back schedule table failed, it means that your controller, your FX control, does not have any functions set up on this. So let's go ahead and click add. We'll first activate and click add, and let's say that we want to turn off the sign at 1 a.m. See, 1 a.m. So we're working with military time, so we'll set it to 1 a.m. and let's go ahead and make it so we can at 11:59. So just 11:59 is 23:59 in military time. So right at midnight, the sign's gonna shut off. 59 seconds. So now we're gonna click the valid dates is all the dates, and the valid dates all the days. So we click OK to set up that schedule, and then whenever you set a turn off command, you have to add a turn on command. So we'll turn the sign back on at 5:30 a.m. Again, all through the dates, so no dates, and every day. So both of those are invalid fields that we won't cover. And there you have it. The sign is going to turn on at 5:30. It's going to turn off at 11:59 and 59 seconds, and turn on at 5:30 a.m. So you click to send the schedule, and there it is. Now when we click read to read the schedule, we'll get the schedule of the sign here as far as when it's going to turn off and when it's going to turn on. Another section that we need to cover for the schedule table setup for the sign is that we can change the brightness. So let's go ahead and add let's go ahead and add sorry, I was pressing the right mouse button there. So let's go ahead and add a schedule to adjust the brightness. So we'll set adjust the brightness to 1, and we'll set the time to, let's see, well, maybe we can adjust the brightness to 2, and we'll set the brightness time to go down around maybe, let's say, 7 p.m. 7:30 to be exact. And of course we want it to be every day, so and we want it to be every day, and so we're going to make these both fields invalid. So now every day at 7:30 p.m. it's going to turn the value of the brightness to 2, and then of course in the morning we're going to want that to go up, so we're going to add another one, and we're going to make it that be adjust brightness to 8 is super bright, so let's just say 6, and we're going to start that at the time of 6 a.m. 6:30 a.m. So we'll type in 6:30, adjust brightness 6, or let's say 7, and of course keep these invalid, and we click OK, and there you have it. There's your schedule for the brightness. We're going to send these values and read them back, and now we have the whole system as we want it. So that covers the table setup schedule for brightness and turn off times. There are some other things that you can do here, but these are for controls of that are just more advanced, and also for when you're using 4G. So we won't be covering those right now. And if you want to save it, you can export it into let's say our LED sign brightness and on time setup. And that way, if you ever want to import it again, you could just click here and import it. And there you have it. That covers the scheduling of your software programs and the scheduling of the hardware under control. And that does it for the scheduling video.